Hello, everybody. It's Jeremy Whaley here, and I have a question for you. What if I told you I have a trade that went up over 20 times last year and it is poised to go up another 100% in the next several months? Is that something you'd be interested in? We're going to talk about it right now. Coming up, here we go. Well, hello, everybody. It is Jeremy Whaley here from Trade Maestro. I hope you're doing fantastic today. And in this video, I'm actually going to start a new series where we dig into some individual cryptocurrencies, individual projects, and take a look at what they're doing in the marketplace and why they are some good opportunities. And this is actually, we're going to start by going through the top crypto picks that I've posted on my blog over at trademaestro.com. So you can check that over there. And we're going to go through every one of those, and then we'll continue to develop further ones, and we'll probably come back and update some of these analysis in the future. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do kind of an overview of the project, and that kind of gives you a basic idea of what it is that you're going to be trading. And then we're going to go look at the chart and see what kind of trading opportunities are there. And, might be something you're interested in. Might not be, but we're going to find out. So let's get over here. The first one we're going to talk about is a company or organization called Solana. Solana, this one trades under SOL, ticker SOL. Of course, that's SOL USD if you're in US dollars. If you're in another currency, then it might be something else for you. But here in America, it's SOL USD. And this is another one of those smart contract companies that is basically taking on Ethereum. Here's their website. It's at solana.com. And as they say right here, powerful for developers, fast for everyone. All right. Now, who wouldn't want to just go buy all the crypto for a headline that says something like that? No, seriously. It's a very popular project. Went up over 20 times last year. You might be asking why. Well, here's why. Because Solana is a platform for building other crypto apps. It's not just a crypto that's out there, but it's actually got utility purpose for helping other crypto projects come to life. And so in that way, it's very similar to Ethereum. It's a little bit different in the way that they do their proofing. I think Ethereum I believe is a proof of stake. I should know that off the top of my head. And Solana, however, this is what I was getting to, is a little different because they're pioneering this kind of proof of history, which is really irrelevant unless you're just a geek and you understand all that stuff, but it doesn't change anything about the way that we trade. So why is this important? Well, here's why. Because if you've ever done any of the exchanges like on Uniswap or one of these projects that's built on Ethereum blockchain, well, if you've ever done that, there's really, really high gas taxes. And like, for example, I did a trade recently on Uniswap where I only put like $150 into it. And it cost me like $80 in Ethereum gas tax just to do the $150 trade. Yeah, so that was a little pricey there. So it's similar to Ethereum, but it's a lot faster and it's a lot cheaper. That's what makes this really attractive. And then the token, the SOL token, this is what you use to pay the transaction fees, and it can also be staked for rewards and put back into the project. So there's a lot of use cases for this. We're already seeing it being used. A lot of projects. NFTs, this is a big one. There's several projects that are building and using this platform for NFTs. Decentralized finance, there's the DEX, the decentralized exchange. There's a lot of different decentralized finance projects, DeFi projects that are being built on this. Gaming. So yes, you can actually build games on the Solana blockchain infrastructure. Payment processing, and then, of course, these new decentralized autonomous organizations that we're starting to hear a lot about. So all of this can actually be built on the Solana blockchain, and that's part of what makes it really exciting. You say, well, is anybody actually using this thing? Yeah. We got over 350 projects that are currently being built on Solana. They did have a big hack. I think it was, I forget what it was. They did have a big hack, and so that's kind of been a little black eye for them. But all things considered, this is a project with lots and lots and lots of opportunity. If you want to learn more about it, you can go to solana.com and you can kind of just poke around their website. I'm not going to get into the nerdy stuff because, frankly, I ain't that smart. I understand trading. That's all I need to know about the company. What I know about the organization, I keep calling it a company. I think it's just You know, I don't even know who owns it, if anybody owns it. It might just be decentralized. I didn't go that far into it. But the operation, we'll call it that. Here's what I like about it. What I like about it is, number one, the excitement around the adaptation for it. I mean, people are just jumping into this thing, and it's really, really promising as far as the project is concerned. And then, of course, the trading opportunity. So let's get over to our charts, and let's see what those trading opportunities look like, because that is something that's way more exciting than the nerdy stuff. All right, I'm going full screen here if I can figure out the button to push. And what you're looking at is the chart for Solana. I'm going to zoom way out here, and you can see, if you look in the bottom, well, kind of down here where you're about to see some drawing. See that yellow that I'm drawing right there? This was Solana at the beginning of 2021. You see that? Well, if you look all the way over to the right, see if I can get my cursor on there. Generically speaking, and I'm not exactly on the price point, but it's around, at that time, $2. It was about $2 for one token. By the end of 2021, specifically by the peak on November 6th of 2021, Solana peaked out at $260. That's in 1 year, folks. That whole move is in 1 year. Okay, so it's 260, not 268. I realize I circled the peak, but so yeah, wow, that's quite a move. Now the big question is, can we do it again? And what you're going to notice, a lot of people look at crypto like this and they say, oh, that can't be stable because it's gone down 50%. And that's exactly what it's done. Actually, it's done more than that. It went from 260 and is currently sitting at 80. Specifically 79.44 as I'm recording this, but oh, it just changed, 79.53. Oh, 79.53. Oh, no, back down. No, when you do live markets, you know, there's nothing you do. Prices are changing all the time. But, you know, people look at this and they think to themselves, why would I do that? I mean, the price just keeps going down. This thing's got to be a turd. It's got to be going back down to the toilet. No, this is actually the way the volatility of crypto works. Bitcoin has done it. Ethereum has done it. All of the great projects that are out there, they all have this kind of volatility. It's one of the things that makes crypto trading really exciting. You know, in the stock market, when we have a pullback like this, we have a correction, a lot of times it's, you know, 15, 20%. And on these crypto projects, we're seeing 50 to 80%, and then they go right back to their highs. And a lot of times they come back down and they end up kind of in a channel that's like 50%. It's really awesome. So what I want to do right now is I want to chart this. And if you're not familiar with how I chart, then I'm sorry. I'm going to go fast. But you're welcome to learn. I teach it in my crypto challenge and in other places. But I'm just going to go ahead and put an extreme high up here. I'm going to put an extreme low down here. And that kind of starts the process. And there's not really a lot of history in here because it's a fairly new trade for the most part. We're going to go ahead and mark some right in here. We're going to mark some. This is the major one right there. That's the big one. We'll mark that one right there. And I'm going to come on up here and mark a couple of other major turns that we had in this particular chart. And I'm doing it quickly because I don't want this video to drag on with a whole bunch of me sitting here explaining exactly the turning points that I'm marking. So again, if you don't know how to do this, then you need to learn. That's all there is to it. All right, there it is, folks. There is the grid. This is the grid that Solana has been trading through. Yes, even a trade that is relatively new starts to have established trading behavior, and crypto's been remarkable. I mean, ever since I started trading crypto, I've been just flabbergasted at how well-disciplined it is. It's really amazing how well-disciplined it is. So take a look at this. What I want to draw your attention to, a couple things. And I'm actually going to get rid of some of these lines because I really don't want to have them all over the chart. But I want you to notice how we've hit this support level twice. And it looks like we're building that support. And that is in line with this resistance that we had back in August. Okay. So as we look at this, we can start to map this out pretty straightforward. This is a really black and white trade. If we bounce, our next target is going to be 120. So a move from 79 up to 120. Oh my goodness, folks, just do some math on that. 120. If you were to get in, we're not going to get in at 79, but maybe we get in like around 89 or so. We'll just call it 90 so I can do easy math here. Okay, that would be $30. $30 on a $90 interest, that's a 30% gain And that could happen, honestly, within like a couple weeks. Okay, so that would be nice. And that is one of the real possibilities I think we could see in the short term for Solana. I think I could see this thing channeling right here between about $79 or $80 up to around 120. And that is a great channel. I mean, that would be a fantastic setup. That's kind of my first short-term view, and I'll explain more of that just momentarily. My second-term view is that we would actually start rallying. We'll hit a pivot. We'll definitely hit the 120. The next major one you're going to hit is the 150, and then you'll have one up here at 180. That's a target. 200, 220 maybe. Less sold on that one. Very sold on the 260. So if we can really get some momentum here on this turn as it starts to build, we got some incredible upsides. And if we were to go from where we are at 80 up to 260, that's a 3x move, folks. That is a 200% ROI. So, on the low end, I think this has got about 30% to move up. On the high end, a couple 100%. What if I'm wrong? What if this thing's not going to bounce here? Well, we're going to know before we get into the trade if it's bouncing or not. And if it's not bouncing, then it's got another support here at 70. I could see it building that support right there at 70. That one makes sense. And then if by chance it keeps going, then 50 is your next target. But I don't think we're going to keep going too much further. I think we're pretty close to the bottom. And I'm going to make that argument for you momentarily. If it's all right with you, I don't want to tick you off because I know you're going to send me hate emails. But I'm going to get rid of a couple of these lines just so that we can keep it clean. It gets confusing when we have too many lines in here. I'm going to leave the most important ones. And I guess those are fine. Instead of having that one there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just mark it this way, just as a target. And same thing. Well, those are pretty major turns, so we'll leave those in there. All right, what I want to draw your attention to next, just in terms of the direction of this trade, I want to draw your attention to our stochastics. So let me put some stuff on here. This is an oscillator. Actually, I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to go with the Three Amigos. Those of you who've seen me do this before, then you're going to understand why I'm looking at the Three Amigos. If you don't know, then you don't know. But for those of you who have, got your technical analysis stuff under your belt, notice how we made a very slightly lower low. And if we were to go on down to that second target around 70, we would really put in that lower low on Solana here. Well, compare that to your MACD and compare that to your RSI. Now, stochastics is not there. Okay, but your MACD and your RSI both are giving us what we call a bullish divergence. This is a precursor to a bullish move. Now, it doesn't have to happen. I mean, bullish divergences happen all the time, that they don't necessarily play out as a full-blown reversal. But at a bottom like this, after such a big sell-off, this is a very, very good early sign. And what we see, the divergence itself doesn't necessarily mean full-blown reversal. It doesn't necessarily mean we're moving from bear to bull. What it does mean most of the time is that we're shifting the trend direction. So we could be going from bear to sideways. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at here. Bear to sideways, and then I think that could build us into what we call an accumulation period. That would be the channel, and then ultimately into the bullish run. So I think we got a lot of upside potential on this, and that's part of the reason I'm thinking that. Now let me zoom in on just the averages themselves, because this is going to give you a little bit of structure. If you can see the moving averages in here, that's why I don't like to put too many lines on the chart, because it becomes overwhelming, and I understand that. If you can see these averages in here, you'll notice that we're below them, and from a moving average trending system, we're still in a bearish trade. What you got to watch for, and this starts to build the setup for us. What you got to watch for is you want to watch for the trade to rally and eventually break out above 120. That will be, the 120 mark will be the trigger for a bullish trend. Now, I don't have time to get into why I trade with triggers right now, but I'll do another video on that. This is the setup. This is the setup you want for a trend trade. Okay, so somewhere in here, it's probably going to cycle up to around 120. And when it finally breaks out of there, you've got the opportunity for the big bull trade. And that should run at least to 150. I think that should run at least to 180 probably. 150 is a given. I mean, if it breaks out above 120, the chances of not getting to 150 are very, very low. So there's another highly predictable trade. But 180, and then 200, 220, and then 260. That's the upside targets for this. In the meantime, while you're waiting for that, I'll do this in green. The give me money, the one that's pretty easy, is you say, okay, as I make the turn off of support, I trade it up to my resistance, and then I get out. And then wait for it to come back down. If it breaks out above 120, you get back in, you take the big trend. If it comes back down to your support around 80, you wait for it to make the turn, you get back in, and you get out at 120 again. And then if it breaks out again and it moves higher, then you can jump in, you trade it up to 150 and 180 and on up the grid. Or if it cycles back down, you come back down to 80, you wait for it to make the turn, and you trade it back up to 120. So that's the short-term trade. So what I'm showing you here is I'm showing you two trades that are bullish trades for Solana. One is the short-term trade from about 80. You probably want to get in around 88 to 89, maybe 90, and you can trade it up to 120. And then when it gets to 120, you take your profit. You wait to figure out what's going to happen. Is it going to break out and go higher? If it breaks out, then you're in the big bull trend, and you buy it, and you can trade it on up. If it sells off back to around the $80 support, wait for the turn, jump back in around 85, 90, and ride it back up to 120. And you just do that as many times as it takes. And I've seen these channels develop for a long, long time. I've seen them go for weeks and months. And so it could go for a long, long time. But this is shaping up very nicely. And then the last thing I want to show you on this chart is if you look straight down, you see your stochastics. It is making the turn. This is a very positive sign for the short-term move. And what you're looking for is it will probably make the turn and head around, around your overbought reading around 80. It should correspond pretty close to the 120 mark. And if we get up to overbought around when the price is around 120, and if the stochastics gets up there and makes the turn down to the other side, that's another reason to get out at 120. So there's a lot of opportunity here on that. That's the most probable directions at this moment. We're early. We're very early in this trade. It's way early. I mean, it has not confirmed any piece of that yet. How about I go ahead and do a little trade setup on it as well? Probably be useful for you. So what I do for my trade setups is I do not try to catch the bottom. I don't do it. I wait until it bounces. And that bounce is going to come in around 90. So after I drew the line, maybe it's more like 91. And I'm going to trade this up to 120. We're going to take our profit at 120. And if you can trade with a stop, do so. Uh-oh. Let's resize this. There we go. If you can trade with a stop, do so. Otherwise, set an alert, but set that around 76, 77. And that is almost a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio, which is really just perfect for a little channeling trade like this. So here's the idea. I'm not saying you need to go do this. Number one, you got to know what you're doing. So I definitely don't want you to do it if you don't know what you're doing. But the way I'm looking at this is an entry around 91. Excuse me, I just wrote 92, but it should be 91.19 is what I'm reading here. 91.19 is your entry, roughly. Put in a little E there for that. Target is going to be at 119. And that's going to be your target. And your stop is down here about 77. About 77. We'll just call it. We'll make it a nice round number. Okay, that'll be your stop, or you could have an alert sent to your phone that says, hey, Solana hit 77. Do you want to get out? And then you can go over to Coinbase, wherever you're trading it, and you can get out if that's what you would like to do. Okay? So there's trade setup. And that's how I do it. And that's Solana. So today I'm recording this on the 23rd, evening the 23rd of February. So you'll be seeing this on the 24th in the morning. And, start tracking it. See what happens. See if I was right. See if I jumped the gun. I didn't jump the gun, I'll tell you that. But what you might, for those of you who are a little bit newer to this type of analysis, what you might say is, or might see, I should say, is you might see this trade go down and we never get into the trade. And that's the reason that I do this trigger type setup for our trades. So you'll learn more about that as we learn some more. All right, let's go back over to our slides and let me ask you a question. And this is a honest, sincere question. I want to know, do you have what it takes? Do you have what it takes to take the challenge? Now you might be wondering, what challenge are you talking about, Jeremy? I am talking about the 7-day crypto challenge. That's right. In just 7 days, you can actually learn to trade the crypto markets. It only takes 7 days of your life. That's hardly anything. It's only about an hour and a half a day, hour to an hour and a half, depends on the day. And you're going to get everything you need to start trading crypto, even if you've never, ever traded before. Now, even if you're broke, this is perfect for you because this is free and you don't need to put any money into it. All you need to do is show up. So you say, what do I need to do to be ready for the challenge? Well, here's what you need. You need an email address and you need a desire to learn crypto. And if that is you, if that describes you in any way, shape, or form, then I want you to sign up for my 7-day crypto challenge. It's absolutely free. And all you need to do is go to your web browser right now, type in 7daycrypto.com. And it will come up with an opportunity. It'll tell you a little bit more about the 7-day challenge. And you can just type in your email address and you can get yourself enrolled and you can take the 7-day crypto challenge. And at the end of the 7 days, you're going to know how to get started trading crypto. That's it. So pretty good deal. If you have any questions, if you need help with anything, please feel free to send me an email, help@trademaestro.com, help@trademaestro.com. And by the way, if you want to learn more, don't forget to subscribe. So if you're on YouTube, you need to subscribe. If you're watching this on Facebook, then you need to like or whatever the button is down here on Facebook. If you're seeing this on my blog, on the website, then you need to enroll in something. You need to sign up for something so you get on the mailing list. That's the way you're going to get all the communication. If you're over on Telegram, then join the page, whatever it takes. But wherever you are, wherever you're seeing this, do whatever it takes so you don't miss any of the videos, because I got some other really cool videos that are coming up. In fact, I think you're going to like them all. And let me know what you think about this one. And if you got any feedback on it, obviously I want to hear it. All right. Thanks for joining me, folks. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.